The following is a special presentation of ESPN College Football on ABC.
Welcome to Austin, Texas. This is press level 8. We get set for a big game between the Aggies and the Longhorns, and this might be the day after Thanksgiving, but this game is anything but leftovers. For the Aggies, it'll be a huge win for them. They haven't beaten Texas since 1999. For the Longhorns, a win would put them in the Big 12 championship game in Kansas City against the Nebraska Cornhuskers coming up next Saturday night. I'm going to welcome you into our booth. Here's the guys. There's one spot left just for me. This is my team and my locker room. Let's go down to Mac Brown and his team in his locker room.
And the guys in that locker room have never lost to the Aggies. And the seniors going out playing their final game at home today don't want it to happen today. Before the kick, let's go to John, Craig, and Mark in New York.
Thanks a lot. Mark May, of course, sitting in for Doug Flutie, who was off doing something about a Hail Mary. I don't remember what that was about. We have plenty of games for you this weekend, beginning with the one you're about to kick, Texas A&M against Texas. It culminates tomorrow night in primetime. Notre Dame against USC. USC will be trying to move into that number 2 BCS spot. Now, is this game for Coach Franchione's job?
I don't know that it's for his job, but it's definitely for his security and recruiting right now. This is a really important game for Franchione, who has done nothing in the month of November. He can't beat Texas and Oklahoma and Nebraska. This is a game where he has to have balance. It's an emotional game. It's a rivalry game. We all know that. But he's got to have balance with McGee throwing the ball and Lane running the football. If he doesn't do that, Mayday, it's going to be tough for them.
It's going to be tough for him because they're going to have to run the ball against the number 1 rush defense in the land, the Texas Longhorns. Defensive coordinator Gene Chiswick's done an outstanding job. They're only giving up 42 yards a game, so that's the test for the Texas A&M football team.
When you win 80% of your games and you go to 2 national championships, what is the reward? Well, for Larry Coker, he has been fired as head coach in Miami after a 6-6 season. Is this fair?
Well, I don't know that college football is fair anymore. I think that's really come out now to where Miami needed a change. They're going to have an iron fist that comes in there, but if it's too strong of a fist, they may not be able to get kids to come play at University of Miami.
Well, I think the major key is athletic director Paul D. better have a marquee name on the sidelines that he can sign right away, because if this thing lingers on, it's not going to look good for the administration down in Miami.
And Butch Davis has already gone on to North Carolina, so it is not going to be him. Good weekend of college football coming up. Texas and Texas A&M after these messages and a word from our ABC station.
I get jacked up for this game.
Texas A&M rivalry is second to none.
I always wanted to play for Texas and play in this game.
Beat your rival is always a great way to finish a season.
Touchdown, Texas A&M!
The best game of the whole season, just because it's that maroon versus that orange.
It's Friday morning and it's time for football.
This game just splits families for a couple of days.
Ricky Williams, touchdown!
The best rivalry in college football.
The pride of Texas is on the line.
From Austin, Texas, welcome to Rivalry Week presented by Remington. And for the 113th time, the Aggies and the Longhorns set to do battle. And here comes the number 11 team in the country. A lot of seniors playing their final home game at Darrell K. Royal Texas Memorial Stadium. ESPN's presentation of college football on ABC, brought to you by Best Buy. Let's take a look at the standings in the Big 12 South. There's the top 2 teams, Texas and Oklahoma. You know the Sooners will be watching this game today if Texas A&M can pull off an upset. Otherwise, Texas is on its way to the Big 12 championship next week. I welcome my partners in now. Bob, first let's talk about the quarterbacks. And these 2 young guys haven't been around a long time, but a lot of experience and a lot of leadership from both.
Well, they've started every game this year. Colt McCoy for Texas 2 weeks ago at Kansas State was injured on a quarterback sneak at the goal line. He's had 2 weeks to recover, had a bye week. He says, I'm tired of talking about it. Don't ask me about it. He says, I'm healthy and ready to play. And he's had a great year. He's the number 1 passer, efficiency-wise, in the conference.
27 touchdown passes on the other side. Stephen McGee, who made his debut against Texas last year.
He did. He got his first start last year in this ball game. Started every game this year. I really like this kid. He's the heart and soul, the spirit of this ball club. He is tough. He is physical, and he leads a balanced offensive attack. 200 yards rushing, 200 yards passing.
Well, the bench and the guys back in the studio talk about this. That balance is going to be put to the test because it is the number one rush defense that Texas has, so the two running backs are going to have to come and show up.
Yeah, I think Texas Aggies, they may have the answer to it. Javorsky Lane, listen to this, folks. He's 6 foot tall, 280 pounds. He got feet like a ballerina. They call him changeup. And then they have Mike Goodson, their fastball. Between these two guys, they have 22 touchdowns rushing. These guys are going to come at them all day long, and I think this is going to be the answer for that defense.
Well, we'll see if Texas can win a 10th game for the 6th straight season. That's what they're trying to do today. We're all set. The players are all set as we get set for the Lone Star Showdown.
Coming up next,
It's Texas A&M versus Texas.
This ESPN Productions available on ABC HD, presented by Dish Network. Fourth member of our team down in the end zone, Stacey Dale. Stace?
Brad, a lot of people wondered about the morale of this Texas team after losing 2 weeks ago to K-State and having to think about it through the bye week. Defensive back Aaron Ross told me it was a devastating loss. So devastating, though, it made the team tighter than it's ever been. They're expecting to clinch the Big 12 South today. On the other side, tight end Martellus Bennett told me the team met Wednesday night. The message was simple. You will remember every play in this game, whether good or bad. Have no regrets and leave everything on the field, Brad.
No doubt they will. Mac Brown's Longhorns, Dennis Francione's Aggies getting set. A&M on the toss and deferred. Texas will receive, and we're underway in Austin. And the kick is deep, and Shipley won't bring it out, so Texas will go to work from its own 20-yard line. And that means the guy that Bob talked about, Colt McCoy, will take the reins. As we take a look at our IBM Star Watch, Lima Swede, the top receiver, 11 touchdowns and averaging over 17 yards a catch. On the other side, Aaron Ross having a great year, finalist for the Thorpe Award. Stacy just talked about him, 5 interceptions, leads the team defensively. So Texas was from the 20-yard line on a picture-perfect day for football in Austin. 3 wide receivers will start, and Colt McCoy will be in the gun to open things up. And the handoff, Salvin Young on the left side goes for about 4 yards. Young, one of those seniors. Colt McCoy, the youngster, the young gunslinger out of Buffalo Gap, Texas, and talked with us about what he wants to accomplish on the opening drive.
we've got to come out fast. We've got to come out and set the tempo. We've got to get some points on the board early because they do a really good job of holding on to the football. Their time of possession is really high, so we're definitely going to have to come out strong, come out and put some points on the board, and we like our chances.
He comes out with the first completion of the ball game, good for a first down. Out to Quan Cosby, and it's a first down at the 31-yard line. Let's take a look at our Outback Steakhouse starting lineups. There you see the Texas group up front. They're really going to miss the 3 interior guys, all seniors, Studdard, Senline, and Blaylock, and they're good ones. Salvin Young, the starter, a senior at tailback. And now it's Colt McCoy scrambling around, buys himself some time, finds his tight end, Neil Twitty, and Twitty's got a first down all the way out to midfield. Devin Gregg made the stop. And Texas already out to the midfield stripe on their opening drive.
Texas A&M is a kind of a loose, bend, don't break type of defense. They've much improved since Gary Darnell came over to take the defensive coordinator spot.
Texas goes without a huddle. Got their hurry up going in a hurry. And now they keep it on the ground. Salvin Young, and he goes down on his own. Slips and falls after he picked up maybe a yard. Defensively, for the Aggies, here's how they look. Mark Dodge making another start at linebacker today. Justin Warren's their leading tackler. Melvin Bullitt is basically what they call their whip in the 4-2-5 alignment that Bob just talked about with the new alignment of Gary Darnell, the defensive coordinator. Quick snap on shotgun, and the throw is out and complete. Cosby again. Quan Cosby's all the way down to the 30-yard line. And boy, Texas is just chewing up yardage. 20-yard pickup that time.
This is just too easy. Colt McCoy is going back, and he's standing in that pocket, and there's nobody around him. He can just pick and choose where he wants to go with the football.
They've moved from their own 20 to the Aggies' 30 in a hurry. Jamal Charles now flanks McCoy in the gun. And he'll get his first carry. Charles trying to cut it outside and somehow got around the corner. He had a couple of Aggies hanging on him, and he picked up a couple before he's knocked out of bounds by Mark Dodge.
And Brad, with this hurry up, it's not a fast pace. They're just not huddling. And what that does at the beginning of the ball game, especially to A&M, a visiting team, the tempo is not what they thought it was going to be. So right now, Texas has a little bit of an advantage by coming out and playing a little bit quicker than A&M had expected.
Second down, McCoy again to the air. On the slant, he's got his man complete. Another first down, and it's Cosby. Quan Cosby's got 3 grabs already on this drive. Let's take a look at the game breakdown and the youngsters, Bob Greasy and Paul McGuire.
Well, keep the balance. That's offensively run and pass. And for Texas, protect the gunslinger. And you've seen him. They've given him good protection so far.
And A&M, they've got those big backs in the backfield. Don't stop running the ball.
On the ground, inside to the 10 is Jamal Charles.
And for Texas, this is a team that they've got to cover somebody. Their pass defense is terrible, but their run defense is great. They really don't allow Texas A&M to throw the ball deep.
We'll see if that happens when they get the ball. Right now, it's all Texas offensively, all the way down to the 10-yard line. Second down and 3. This is already the 9th play of the drive, and we're only 3 minutes into the game. Here comes a blitz. Charles is hit in the backfield and dropped. Mark Dodge, nice job by the outside linebacker who had a start last week. He's a 25-year-old junior after serving in the military for 4 years, and he's a good player. The elder statesman on the whole field, with the exception of the coaches. A&M second in the Big 12. In red zone defense, they'll be challenged here. It's going to be a 3rd down and 6 upcoming.
Mark Dodge is our unsung hero. You watch this guy move around in this defense, and I'm going to tell you something. You just said it the play before. He will fill some gaps.
3rd down for Texas on their opening march, and penalty markers will stop play. Let's see what the penalty is. It's false start
penalty.
On
Still 3rd
Texas.
down.
It's going to be 3rd down and 11. Here's Mark Dodge. I mentioned 25-year-old. First season with the Aggies after 4 years in the military. He was part of the rescue effort at the Pentagon at 9/11. So you think he hasn't seen it all? He's seen stuff he doesn't want to see. Football is a breeze, I'm sure, to him.
And he plays it, like a sergeant. He really does. This is a tough kid.
And they said after only 2 weeks of being with the team, he was added to the leadership council. The rest of the players vote for that. They thought so much of him.
3rd down and 11. McCoy's got 3 wide receivers out there. Cosby's been his main man so far. He's going to come out in the flex to Finley. His tight end, and Finley diving forward. Let's see where they spot it. Finley stretched out that 6'5" frame, but as you can see, the linesman's got his foot about a half yard short of the 1st down.
What you really have to look at is when you see Finley with the ball here, is where the ball is when he steps out of bounds. Was he trying to reach the 1st down marker? There's nobody covering Finley. He comes out. Just take a look at it. Now the ball is in his right hand. He's going to step out of bounds. Where is the ball when he steps out?
Can't really see when he steps out there, Paul.
Texas goes on 4th down at about a half yard. They bring in Henry Melton, the big guy at tailback, at about 260. On 4th down, he gets the ball. Bangs heads.
Huge.
With Mark Dodge. What a hit by Dodge.
It's huge for A&M.
And A&M will take over on downs. Boy, you talk about a collision.
Well, that's the guy we're talking about, the unsung hero, Dodge. And you just watch him stick this is what you call sticking your nose in. Watch this. Bam! There's just no place to go. He was on the bottom, made the play, and he knew he stopped him.
I think everybody on that Aggie defense knew who was going to handle the ball. But Mark Dodge is the guy that sliced through there and made the hit on Melton, and now the Aggies take over on downs from their own 8-yard line. Jaworski Lane, an even bigger tailback at about 280, gets the call on 1st down. Behind his blockers, he's going to try to bounce it outside, and he has no gain. Let's take a look at our IBM Star Watch for the Aggies. The guy that Stacy talked about before the ball game, Martellus Bennett, big play tight end. 3 touchdowns on the season. Chris Harrington, defensively, he leads the team in sacks, and he'll be all over the field for that Aggie defense today as well. 2nd down and 9 as Lane actually eked out about a 1-yard gain. Stephen McGee, the sophomore out of Burnet, Texas, at the controls for the Aggies in the shadow of their own goalpost. And play action, he'll throw from near his own goal line. Fires, and he's got his man complete. Chad Schrader with the completion of the 1st down, a pickup of 11. McGee's a tough customer, and he talked with us about what he wants to get done on drive number 1.
Move the ball down the field and establish really good field position. If not, get points on the board early, because that's obviously going to play a huge role in this game, trying to get some momentum early and kind of ride that on, into halftime.
Well, he's off to a good start with a 1st down, his first toss.
Impressive thing about that, if you picked it up on those graphics, the finance major.
He's been talking to you, Greasy, about some of your money.
The play is under review, the previous play, and so Tom Walker, our referee, is going to come over to the sideline and talk to the guys upstairs. Let's take a look at the replay. Whether or not he had possession.
Oh, yeah. Whoa.
No, he did not.
I think it's going to come out.
He never had possession of this ball. That ball is bobbling, moving, and I thought it'd be caught at this. This is not a catch. This is an excellent call by the officials to go back and take a long, hard look at this.
David Ames is our replay official, and I think they're going to overturn this one because Terrell Brown had his hands on it almost as much as Schrader did.
You really went out on a limb there to make a real commitment to that one not being a catch.
I knew you'd be proud of me. I knew you'd be proud of me.
He takes the tough ones.
Yeah, he takes the tough ones. We get some real tough ones. He doesn't open his mouth.
Well, I wait for you. I watch you. I watch the quarterback. You always wait for the quarterback to make a move.
Well, there shouldn't be any doubt about this one, but you never know. We've seen stranger things.
And one thing else is all year long we've talked about it. Every single play is reviewed. If you haven't heard it before, you're going to hear it all the time. They review every single play, and this one here they wanted to take a harder look at it. And I like the fact, Greasy, we were talking about it before about stopping the game.
While we wait on the review, we'll remind you coming up, don't miss the 2nd half of our college football doubleheader. Zach Taylor will lead the Big 12 champion Nebraska Cornhuskers against the Buffaloes of Colorado. That's next on ABC. College football lives here.
Big 12 North champion.
I beg your pardon. You go out on a limb and straighten me out. I got the truck yelling at me. I got you yelling at me. It's taken 10 minutes for a review that should have been over 5 minutes ago.
We're playing for the South here. They're going to, the right to play Nebraska.
When I wasn't up here, you guys got along fine. Now, I don't know what do you guys fight all the time? I'm not going to come up here anymore.
You stir things up.
We got along for 10 years until you came in the booth.
That's right.
Right?
Exactly.
I'll go back on the truck. I like the truck.
So Tom Walker's finally got a decision made. Tom, what do you got?
After review, the ruling on the field is reversed. The pass is incomplete.
Way to go, McGuire.
So now they got to move it back to the original line of scrimmage.
That's 1 out of 20 for you this year.
Yeah, I do it when they count near the end of the year. That's the only one people remember.
So it's going to go back to about the 9-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 9.
Sometimes that's why it takes so long, because they have to figure out where the ball was because they had already moved the chains.
Mike Goodson checks in to the backfield now for Texas A&M.
That's a speedster that Paul talked about in the opening. He's number 3.
And McGee will be in the shotgun with 4 wide receivers on 3rd down and 9. The Aggies are number 1 in the Big 12. 50% on their 3rd down conversions. That is an impressive number.
That's unbelievable.
McGee resets his charges and gives it off to Goodson, who busts through, and he's got a 1st down. Mike Goodson, the freshman, a pickup of 11.
Well, this guy's averaging. Mike Goodson is averaging 7.1 yards per carry. This is 3rd and 9. They have that much confidence in him that he'll pick up the 9 yards. But look at this run. He breaks a tackle in the backfield, and then he breaks another tackle downfield and makes a play. That was Marcus Griffin, number 26, that missed the last tackle.
Line Texas freshman Goodson gets him a first down and some room to work now at the 21-yard line, which is about where they would have been had that pass been completed earlier. Now it's Lane back in there with McGee. And the big guy gets the ball. And he's not going far. Frank Ocam makes the stop. Well, they still don't have him down, but you get the idea. Let's take a look at our Outback Steakhouse lineup. Stephen McGee, the quarterback. Number 1 offensive lineman, their center, Cody Wallace. And Lane and Alexander. Lane not only a big load, but Alexander coming out of the fullback spot. When he's in there is an excellent receiver. He's got 3 touchdown catches so far this year.
They are 8th in the nation, this A&M offense, in rushing the football, going up against the number 1 rushing defense in the nation in Texas.
They average 208 yards a game on the ground and 203 in the air. And they're going to go to the air. Pump, fake, and go. Down the sideline, incomplete, intended for Schrader. Pretty good coverage back there by Aaron Ross. Texas, as we take a look at their defense, it's a good one, especially back in the secondary with the Griffins and Terrell Brown and Aaron Ross. And Griffin, 8 block punts in his career. It's been brilliant. Tim Crowder has the most sacks for Texas with 9.5 coming into the ballgame.
I mentioned that outfit was first in the nation against the rush. They're also 111th against the pass.
You kind of wonder which statistic skews the other. 3rd down and 9. Again, McGee in the gun, 4 wide receivers. Here comes a blitz. He steps up and he's going to run it. He's got a first down and a lot more. McGee all the way out near midfield. And there's the toughness that Bob talked about in the open. He's not afraid to stick his nose in there, and he's a good runner.
This is the thing that makes this offense so dangerous, that the quarterback can turn into a runner. Watch as McGee gets back. He's going to feel pressure, and then the entire center of the field is going to open up. And McGee just takes off. He came into this ball game having rushed for nearly 700 yards on the season.
And he got 28 more right there. And a first down at midfield. So they pick up back-to-back 3rd down and 9s on the ground. McGee, this time he keeps it, and he's going to lose about 5 yards on the play. Dennis Francione talking about Stephen McGee, his tough quarterback.
If he has to dive over 4 guys or throw it over 4 guys, he'll do his best to put his team in a position to win. He'll run with it, he'll throw it, he'll pitch it, he'll do whatever he has to do, and he finds a way to move the chain.
He's already done that effectively on this drive, that's for sure, although he lost yardage there at 2nd down and 14. Goodson and Alexander in there now in an I backfield. Alexander the fullback. End around coming. And it's Schrader. Schrader got around the corner, down the sideline, and he's going to be knocked out of bounds at about the 42, a couple yards shy of a first down, but a pickup of 12 for Chad Schroeder.
Brad, this play here, you got 2 linemen that are out in front of this thing that don't block anybody. They don't. First of all, they don't look to block anybody, and then they don't catch up with the runner. This would have been an easy first down had either one of them blocked anybody.
7 minutes, 7 seconds remaining. Another 3rd down coming up for the Aggies, but 3rd down has been right where they want the Longhorns so far on this drive. 2 tight end set. And Goodson stays in at tailback. Option. The pitch. Goodson. He's got the first down, and he might have a lot of it all the way down the sideline for the touchdown. Boy, is he fast. 41 yards for the score. Mike Goodson, the freshman. As Paul said in the open of the ball game, he's the fastball, and we just saw the fastball.
They'll run the option, and Goodson, he got it down to either Southern California or Texas A&M, and being a Texas kid, he stayed at home and went with the Aggies. Like Paul said in the opening, it's thunder and lightning. And Goodson is certainly the lightning.
Millman in for the point after. And the Aggies have stunned the Longhorns. And the Texas crowd on the extra point is wide. He missed it. That could come back to haunt him sometime during the ball game. Impressive drive, though, for the Aggies. Goodson caps it off. Texas A&M on the board first. You remember that rush defense we talked about? 42 yards a game. How about Texas gave up twice that much on that touchdown drive? 91, all on the ground. And Goodson capped it from 41. 6-0 Aggies. So much for statistics, huh, fellas?
It's true.
Szymanski to kick. Cosby and Shipley are waiting back at the goal line. And again, the kick is out of the back of the end zone, so Texas will have to work from the 20-yard line, which they did impressively last time. Colt McCoy was on fire until their drive stalled on a 4th down. We'll see how he does on the second possession in a minute.
ESPN's College Football on ABC, presented by Best Buy. Wrap up the wow this holiday season only at Best Buy. Infinity, makers of the all-new 306 horsepower G, design beyond machine. Remington titanium shavers, and Singular, raising the bar.
There's the Capitol building. Austin, the seat of Texas state government. The Texas Capitol is the largest state capitol, second only to our nation's capital in D.C. Beautiful city, beautiful day. Good day for the Aggies so far. They lead by 6 with 6:44 remaining in the first quarter. And we wish you all a happy holiday weekend for the Lone Star Showdown. Brad Nessler, Bob Greasy, Paul McGuire, Stacey Dales at Darrell K. Royal, Texas Memorial Stadium, where the Longhorns on their second march of the day give it off to Jamal Charles for 5. Selvin Young starts the ball game today because he was a senior, but Charles has been the guy that's been the big play back so far for the Longhorns this year. He came in with 765 yards rushing and 6 touchdowns. Texas offense in the top 20 in those categories. And got a second down at 5 here. Handoff inside, goes for a couple more. It's going to bring up a 3rd down. Mack Brown talking about his offensive philosophy. We enjoyed this.
Score. Lots. Fast.
Is that great? That's great. We'll see if they can score on this drive. 3rd down and 2.
Well, that's Mack Brown. I'll tell you, when you sit down and talk with that man, he lights up a room.
McCoy going to throw it out. Almost picked up, but it's caught for a 1st down. Jermichael Finley just snatched that one away from Jordan Peterson, who was thinking touchdown the other way.
Tight end just going to come out here on the route. Little diagonal. That's a big 1st down for Texas because A&M had stopped Texas on their first drive on downs and then took it the length of the field for a touchdown.
That was Brock Newton, that extra defensive back that almost had the interception. And now Texas with Selvin Young back in there has got another 1st down. Pickup of 11.
You see the way McCoy just throws it over somebody and then he has to throw it around? I mean, these are things that you just do when you're a competitor. A lot of guys that are his size, and he's about 6'1", 6'2", will get the ball knocked down at the line of scrimmage. I think he's only 6 foot. Yeah, he's only 6'3". But still, you can't throw over these guys. You got to throw around them sometimes. He does it effortlessly.
And loss on the play of about 3 for Selvin Young. Melvin Bullitt makes a nice play defensively. Tomorrow night, Trojans and the Fighting Irish at the Coliseum, the latest installment of that great rivalry. Once again, BCS implications involved there. Saturday Night Football on ABC, part of Rivalry Week presented by Remington. Tomorrow night, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. You know, you were talking about Colt McCoy, and somebody said to me the other day, he's not that big a kid. I said he's 6'3". The problem is when you saw him last year on the practice field with Vince Young, he looked like a midget because Vince is, you know, bigger than anybody. McCoy, deep throw, in and out of the hands of Jordan Shipley.
Yeah, he missed that one. He had Shipley. Shipley was open.
That's his first incompletion.
Well, I'll tell you, I like his changeup. I like the fact that he recognizes people, and he's not, and he does hesitate and then throw the football. And the one thing you were talking about him the other day, Reese, is how he sets himself. He gets himself square to the line of scrimmage where he can throw the ball well.
27 touchdown passes and only 4 interceptions. This kid's a freshman playing for the first time, following a legend here at Texas.
3rd down and a mile now. 3rd and 13 for McCoy and the Texas offense. Deep out, and that would have been a first down. Nate Jones, there's a flag down in the backfield, though.
It's a chop block. I'll tell you what, they had the defensive end was set up, and then somebody came in and cut him at the knees.
That's the call. Paul's got it. And Tom Walker gives us the official call.
Chop block on the offense. Number 74, number 62. Penalties declined. 4th down.
Let's check in with Stacy.
Well, guys, you're talking about McCoy, and I spoke with him a couple weeks ago. I asked him when did he realize this was his team. He said there were 2 moments. Last year, immediately after the Rose Bowl, Vince Young sat him down and said, you have to show confidence and earn the respect of your teammates. And the other guys was just his first pass to Lima Sweet against North Texas this year. It's been calm, composed, and collect since, Brad.
Yep, that touchdown probably set it for everybody that he was the leader of the group. The long touchdown pass to Lima Sweet. Greg Johnson to punt. Whoa, not a good kick. And out of bounds. Let's see where they mark it. Aggies are going to have pretty good field position. About the 30-yard line for Texas A&M and Stephen McGee with a 6-point lead.
Oh, Bevo.
Paul kind of thought that he could do the game from Bevo's back today.
I can't go any further. Hey, Bevo, can I ride you? Can I do the game on you?
Bevo had different ideas.
I don't think so.
I don't think so. No, that's not going to work. That's not going to work. I think he knows that you had steak on Wednesday night.
Do you know that they didn't turn his head or anything, Brad? He just turned and looked at me, and I went, "Oh no, there's no way I'm going there."
Here the Aggies with a 6-point lead on the option. McGee, Goodson, he scored on this last time. Texas closes the door on this carry. Scott Derry, the outside linebacker, is the first one to make contact. He's still got 5 yards.
Les Kenning, the offensive coordinator, says, let's go right back to that option and see if they've figured it out how to stop it yet.
Boy, you have that combination, Brad, in the backfield. The big guy, 280 pounds, Lane, and then you got Goodson, the smaller guy, 200 pounds. And you run all these option plays. I mean, it sets up everything, your entire offense.
And now look at the spread. This is a different look.
There's your 280 running back out receiver right there at the bottom of the screen.
And McGee's going to take it straight ahead. I was just thinking this looks like a quarterback draw coming. He takes it ahead to the 40-yard line. He might have the first down. The combination Paul was talking about, the big guy and the fast guy, and then you got the quarterback that doesn't mind running either.
It's true.
Adrian Peterson's the only guy to get over 100 yards on the season against Texas. And look at today, 101 already for the combination we just talked about.
Well, that's the thing that I said in about the magic of this is here's a team, Texas A&M, going against a team that's the best rush defense in the nation. You can't back away from it. Not with the guys you have in your backfield. And you've got to go at them, and that's what they've done in this first period.
Now Goodson remains the tailback. Option again, and Goodson again. Texas waiting for him this time. Tim Crowder made a nice play from his defensive end spot. One of the leaders of the Texas defense, making his 46th straight start. He's a good one.
One of the things that this Texas defense has had to put up with this year is a lot of trick plays. We've already seen one from A&M in this ball game, the reverse, but a lot of trick plays through the air because of the aggressiveness of these defenders for Texas. The safeties especially want to come up and hit the run very quickly.
Lane now in to the Aggie backfield. Nice play fake by McGee. Comes back, trying to go to the outside, and it's incomplete. Tim Crowder was applying the pressure again. Michael Griffin was covering defensively. So McGee is 0 for 3 through the air, and they've got another 3rd and long coming up here. But 3rd and long didn't bother him on their first drive.
No, they just hand the ball off. They don't care.
I'd like to have seen you be there. I think that would have been a nice picture.
I tell you, if he'd have looked at me one more time, I'd have knocked him out.
Would have made a great Christmas card, wouldn't it? 3rd down and 8. Crowd coming to life for the first time today, really. Swing pass. It's Goodson. He's got a blocker in front. He's got a first down, and he's out of bounds at the 45-yard line. So the first completion on a 3rd and 8, and Goodson picks up 13. He also gets up limping a bit.
He's going to have Lola, number 71, out in front of him. Watch this. I mean, you got one blocker, you got 2 people, you got to hit somebody. And the big tackle didn't hit anybody.
You know what? Dennis Francione said the Goodson reminds him of Reggie Bush, and you said it came down to those 2 schools. He's got a little bit of Reggie in him, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I know that's saying a lot for a freshman, but he looks pretty good. Here he is again, trying to get to the corner. And he got 4 or 5 more before he's knocked down on the far side by Foster, and a flag flies in at the end of the play.
Well, you know, USC, we did them last week. They had Emmanuel Moody. They got a Texas running back out of the state here, and they were trying to get
After the play, personal foul, number 70 on the offense. Late hit, 15-yard penalty, 2nd down.
Cody Wallace is center with the late hit, and that's not like him. He's probably the best they've got up front up there. So that'll negate a nice gain. This is the 113th meeting between these 2 schools. They actually played twice in the same season on several occasions.
I love that.
Started in 1894. This matchup between the Aggies and the Longhorns, and the Lone Star Showdown, they call it now. 2nd down and 20 with 1:35 remaining in the first quarter.
You know, the Aggies have only won 8 of the 80 games played here in Austin.
That's amazing. That many times. Blitz coming off the corner from the Longhorns. McGee fakes the option, drops back, throws it out to Lane. Good-looking play. And then the big bulldozer got it to the 44-yard line. Terrell Brown weighs about 200 pounds, but he gave away about 100 right there on the tackle.
Brad, did you see Lane? He loaded up. He caught the ball. Then he knew he's going to get tackled. But when he gets out here to the outside, and it's going to be on Brown, watch him load up. Wait, right now. He's going to load to hit him. Wow.
Oh.
That's what you call unloading.
Paul called him 280 in the open of the ball game. The coaches at A&M actually tell us you're being very gracious.
Yeah.
So we're not quite sure what Jaworski weighs. But it's somewhere in there depending on what he had for breakfast this morning. From the spread now, McGee buying some time on 3rd and long, giving ground, and finally he throws it away wisely. It'll be 4th down.
I like the play of these 2 young quarterbacks. McCoy for Texas is just a freshman, and McGee for A&M is a sophomore. Starting their first games, they've started less than 15 games for these 2 respective schools. They don't turn the ball over. They don't make interceptions. McGee has only thrown 2 interceptions in his first 274 passes coming into the game.
Aaron Ross drops back. He's got a touchdown this year, 3 in his career. He's run back as Justin Brantley will punt it away. And this one not a great kick either, but he might keep it out of Ross's hands. He's going to take it on the hop at the 9. And only got about 4 yards on the return. Great rivalry between these 2 teams, and one of the great moments, 1998, Ricky Williams went for 259 and a touchdown as he broke Tony Dorsett's NCAA record for the most rushing yards in a career. Texas won it, by the way, 26-24. When you're going to break a record, do it on a big-time run like that. A minute left in the quarter. Texas has its worst starting field position now at its own 13-yard line.
When Texas in that very first drive, when they came out in a hurry-up offense and they kept Texas A&M, mainly makes them stay on the field with the same 11, they've got to go back to that.
Quick throw, out completes, and out across the 20. And it's Quan Cosby. Boy, is he a big part of this offensive performance so far today. Came in with 31 catches. That's his 4th of the day for 46 yards for Quan. Quan, a former baseball player. He's the elder statesman, if you will, on the Texas team because he played for the California Angels in the outfield for a time before starting his football career. And Mac Brown told us at practice the other day, he's really come up in the leadership department for Texas in the second half of this season.
Caught a lot of balls at practice the other day,
He
too.
sure did. Looked like the defensive tackle came across the line unless he was drawn off.
That was Hurd. He hit the center, knocked everybody down.
It was like dominoes.
That's
Before the
unbelievable.
snap, offside on the defense, number 91. 5-yard penalty. Penalty sufficient. First down.
And a first down because of the penalty.
It was a little bit more than offside. Yeah, it was offsides, but he creamed the center.
Well, he weighs 330 pounds.
Well, he hit the center into McCoy. They just did it like dominoes. Go boom, boom.
And the cannon sounds to end the first quarter. And it's the Longhorns on the short end at home. Final home game for a lot of seniors. They don't trail here often. They do to their arch rival right now, 6-0.